All right. Hello. 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 My name is Just John, and I'm your host for this hashtag LTABFLA 2021 virtual preliminary bout number 12. I gotta say, it's hard to imagine that an entire year has passed since the first ever LTABFLA festival, but here we are again, back in Zoom and ready for our students to set the space on fire with their powerful original stories. But like last year, the world may be different now. And at the Jason Taylor Foundation, our belief in your voice, your story, beautiful local community is as strong, excuse me, as it's ever been. Of course, we urge every one of you here on this bout, on YouTube, or wherever you are out there to continue to support each other as well. We know how emotional it can be to spit your truth on stage. So, poets, coaches, families, friends, please check in on each other after every performance, right? Send those texts, FaceTime each other to make sure you're continuing to share the same love and energy that you would as if you guys were in the same theater together. So, with that being said, hashtag LTABFLA. What's that all about, you ask, right? So, hashtag LTABFLA is inspired by, it's a poetry festival hosted and created by the Young Chicago Authors. LTAB FLA is the largest youth poetry festival in the state, featuring hundreds of youth poets from nearly 30 different schools, from Homestead up to Jacksonville, all competing for the same championship title, right? Now, a poetry slam is a competition at which poets perform their original work and are judged by members of the community. So we will have 5 judges here today that have volunteered their time. You all will meet them in just a few moments. They have been instructed to score the poems on a scale of zero point 0 to 10.0 based on content, originality, and performance. So a poem that gets a 0 should be the worst poem you've ever heard, right? It should actually set back the whole art form 100 years. And it's just something you probably never want to hear again, right? And a score of 10 is for the most amazing, unbelievably brilliant poem you've ever written. Of the 5 scores, we drop the highest and the lowest and add the 3 in the middle, giving a poet the highest potential total score of a 30. Poets get 3 minutes plus a 10-second grace period to read each poem. If you go over time, points will be deducted from your total score. Time starts at the poet's first utterance after announcing their name and school. So this will be a 5 round bout. Given the continued importance of social distancing, we have again adapted our bout format to ensure the safety of our students and educators. As a result, three of five of those bouts must be individual poems, and teams have the option to send up as many as 2 collaborative pieces during the bout as well. These collaborative pieces can feature anywhere from two to 4 poets. Now, while we recognize this is a competition, please remember that the points is not the points. The point is the right poetry. Everyone in the room and out there on YouTube should be supporting each other, meeting new people, and continuing to build this unique and beautiful community that you all are a part of. And make sure to clap and snap, like, react, whatever it is out there for all the poets, not just the poets from your school. With that being said, hashtag LTABFLA is a safe space. So no profanity, no racist, no homophobic, gender bias, or otherwise derogatory language allowed. Violation of this rule will result in deductions as determined by the bout managers. Also, no props, costumes, and musical accompaniment. Just you and your words. All right. Sounds awesome. With that being said, I see you guys on the YouTube live. Make sure you're continuing to comment, send love, send a whole lot of love to each and every single poet. Like I said, we got DJ Preach on the ones and twos, doing an amazing job. Our bout managers holding it down for us for the whole festival. This 30-day festival has been an awesome and amazing experience. So for any of you all that are just now tuning in, this may be the first bout that you may be seeing today, or this may be the second, third, maybe 10th bout that you've seen for the whole festival. I gotta say, I really hope that you are excited and ready to hear some awesome words, stories from these poets and youth. of our community. Already, make sure you guys are following us on social media at Blue Apple Poetry on Instagram and Twitter. That's BLUAPPLEPOETRY. That's Blue Apple Poetry. Make sure you follow us. All right, judges. Our judges are rolling in. All right, judges. Hope you're ready. Hope y'all excited. It's about to be an awesome experience. So, with that being said, let's meet our wonderful 5 judges who have had huge responsibility today. So I want y'all to be nice because you don't know who's going to fill them once they start these scores, right? We don't know who's going to be out here, right? So with that being said, I'm going to release, actually, where's my phone? 1 second, let me grab this. All right. And I'm going to be reading off these wonderful judges' descriptions. So I hope you guys are ready. All right. YouTube Live, I see you guys. I hope you guys are ready. All right. We're just waiting for this last bit of information before we get started. Lovely judges. All right, judges, thank you for being so patient. Thank you for being so patient. Everybody on YouTube Live, that's getting started in just a few minutes. I got YouTube coming up. So if you need to grab a drink, if you need to get something before we get this thing rolling, your popcorn, I suggest you guys get this thing ready because we got the judges' qualifications right here, ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Our first judge for today, Judge Martin. Judge Martin has developed a love for the art form as Jason Taylor and youth poets visited his UPS facility and he has a passion for it ever since. So thank you, Judge Martin. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you. Awesome, awesome. Next judge, we have Judge Sandra. Awesome, Judge Sandra. And Judge Sandra says she cares about people. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Judge Sandra. Thank you so much for being here with us. Next up, we have Judge Jasmine. Judge Jasmine, awesome. Judge Jasmine says she has written and performed spoken word poetry at a Black Lives Matter event. Awesome. Thank you, Jasmine, for being here. We appreciate you so much being a part. Next up, we have Judge Travis. Awesome, awesome. And Judge Travis is qualified because he says his job title is a writer. So he knows everything about writing, I'm sure. Awesome. Thank you, Judge Travis. Thank you so much. And last but definitely not the least, we have Marianella. She grew up in Queens, New York, and can relate to a lot of what poets are saying. Thank you so much, Marianella, for being here. We appreciate you. Awesome. Awesome, judges. Thank you so much. You guys sound like we're going to have an awesome journey and awesome experience. So I hope you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy this awesome poetry. So with that being said, audience, please remember that even though this is a virtual bout and we can't see all of your beautiful faces in front of us, it is your job to be as responsible as possible. And here's how. If you're feeling something you hear, you click on those likes on YouTube, those comments, emojis, all to show love to that poet. Performance poetry is about communication and exchange. Remember to shout out your favorite poet or line on social media. If you aren't already following Blue Apple Poetry on Twitter or Instagram, please go right now. That's BLUAPPLEPOETRY. And we're stamping everything with hashtag LTABFLA. So of course, please remember that the poets who are performing today have worked very hard to be here. So please give them your love and encouragement in any way that you can, especially during these times of social distancing. Finally, the points is not the points. The points is the poetry. Awesome. Awesome. You guys will be getting that phrase from me all day today. So I'm sure you'll memorize it by the time we finish today. So are y'all ready for the slam? We're going to hear from these following competing teams. So I hope you all are ready and excited to see who is about to be up on this next stage of LTAB FLA. So we're hearing today from Plantation High School, A.W. Dreyfus High School, School of the Performing Arts. We have J.P. Taravella High School. And last but not least, we have Pompano Beach High School. Awesome. This sounds like a very intense, fun-filled bout. I can't wait until the poets get up on stage. So with that being said, before we start the slam, we have what we call a sacrificial poet that's going to get up on stage and talk to us and just kind of calibrate our scores, right? So judges, this is really for you. This sacrificial poet is about to get up on stage. It's about to help you guys calibrate your scores to help remain consistent throughout the bout. So please help me in welcoming our sacrificial poet. All right, y'all. I want y'all to give a warm welcome for this next poet to grace the stage. My sacrificial poet. Give it up for Nady from Homestead Senior High School.
Hello, my name is Nady Archer. I attend Homestead Senior, and the title of my poem is The Mind. The mind. The wonders of the mind. The thoughts that play like an old projector, playing your favorite movie just to reminisce about the good times. Memories burned and melted into your head like a lighter to a negative. My mind knows me better than myself, knows my emotions, my actions, my reactions, almost like my own stalker, watching and understanding my moves. The mind, it's one of a kind, storing favorite memories as if they're sewn onto the walls, as if you were hiding the ugly holes that show reality, while the negatives are bubbling and melting in storage, screaming to be let out, crying to be remembered once more, begging like a dog begging to be taken home, begging to be loved once more. The mind. It's a beautiful work of art, precious and a fragile beauty, something we take for granted, for it is not our friends and family who know us best, but the mind that cares for you first before all else. Your first companion, the mind.
All right. Thank you, Nady from Homestead Senior High School. Awesome poem about the mind. I love it. And judges, I need scores from a low to a high. Are you guys ready? All right. Awesome. I see scores rolling in. Awesome. Okay. And from a low to a high, we have a 7.1, an 8, an 8.5, an 8.5, and a 10. Awesome. My sacrificial poet, Nady from Homestead Senior High School. Now, we're ready to kick off the slam. Judges, are you ready? All right. YouTube Live, are you ready? Okay. I hope so. Introducing the first poet to the stage, starting off round 1 from Plantation High School. Give it up for Roberto.
My name is Berto Cortez. This is my poem, Growing Up. Tick tock, time to get off the app. Do you want to spend your time doing that? How much time is there left in the hourglass? Drip, drip, drip. Our show of culture isn't gonna last forever. It terrifies me, like, not knowing how much time we got left. It could be 10 minutes or 10 years. Should I speedrun life and end up as a what if, or continue living it and hopefully avoid any type of disappointment? I question whether I should find money or find happiness after high school. It will be hard. I know it's gonna be hard to accomplish. I just wish there's a blueprint or something that could tell me you're gonna be okay. But with our everlasting changing world, who knows? I just want my last moments to be happy ones, good ones, ones that I won't mind taking to the grave. Then all this drama, rejection, and pain will just be a memory that I will become and lost through time.
All right. That's the poet Roberto from Plantation High School, setting off the tone, setting about 12 early, setting it off. All right. All right, judges. Our judges are on the phone. Live, we're going to be tapping in just a few minutes. From a low to a high, we have a 6, a 6.6, a 6.8, a 7, and a 9. Awesome. Again, that's a 6, a 6.6, a 6.8, a 7, and a 9. Thank you so much, poets. Thank you so much. All right, next up to the stage, all the way from A.W. Dreyfus School of the Arts, we have Lauren.
Hi, my name is Lauren Ortega, and I'm representing Dreyfus School of the Arts. People want me dead. They want me dead, they want parts of me dead, and I go on living even though I know that these poems will never be enough. Because when Karen Frank McCarran pleads guilty to smothering her 3-year-old daughter Katie with a plastic bag the day before Mother's Day, the Chicago Tribune chooses the headline, "Daughter's Murder Puts Focus on the Toll of Autism." Because when Alex Bordalakis, 16, is stabbed to death, the court calls it manslaughter. His mother and godmother get just 3 years in prison and their own documentary. Because when Laurel Austin is alleged to feed her boys chlorine dioxide as a cure, the state says that that's not serious enough for them to take action. I carry these stories for the rest of my life. I don't have time to write epitaphs for every grave in an age when people think we're easier to bury than we are to carry. I don't want these poems to be my obituary. God, you didn't have to do this to them. People like us, we learn how to hide, how to stuff these parts so far down we don't know if we'll find them again. But that wasn't enough for you. In the end, was it? You weren't content with a quiet kind of autism. You wanted it gone. So gone that we had to make March 1st a holiday, a disability day of mourning to the one person with a disability killed every single week by their caregiver. You ask me why I learned how to smile, to subject myself to kisses and hugs even though they sometimes burned, to not turn, to stay put, to stay here. I was keeping myself safe. This is the history that you will never hear about, because there aren't enough voices still left to teach it. Say hello to the first autistic poet to step foot on this stage, under bright lights and loud crowds and the blue glow of a mother still filming to watch after dark because I talk a little too fast to get it all in one go. We write the kind of poems that make the crowd cry, but we need the kind of poems that make the crowd red with fresh fight, hot bile, bared teeth, balled fist. I cannot be the only one angry that you teach people that autism is a disease, that autistic people are just victims of their virus. That means that when our caregivers kill us, it's autism's fault. Autism drove you crazy. Autism stole your child. Autism pushed you to the brink. Autism made you do it, but autism didn't put the knife in your hand, did it? Did it? You did that all on your own. And there's more than one way to kill an autistic kid, you know? These are the ways that make the front page, but I've been killed too. A little slower with all the best intentions. Quiet encouragement to talk a little softer, to talk of something else, to keep my hands folded, to look in another set of eyes. I don't know how much of me remains unerased, but I'm still here. You can't get rid of me. All this incurable ecstasy, electrical elegy, half-dead, heart-out, head-first poet. Sewn up, stitched out, and still here kicking.
Yes, sir. Okay, poet. Setting the tone. Let's go. That was Lauren. Awesome, from A.W. Drake School of the Arts. All right, judges. Toughest job of the day. You got it. You've been tasked with it. But you're qualified. Nothing you can't handle, judges. Let's go. What we got? All right, from a low to a high, we have a 9.5, a 9.6, a 9.8, a 9.8, and a 10. Again, we have a 9.5, 9.6, 9.8, 9.8, and a 10. Awesome, awesome. Great job, poet. Next up to the stage from JP Taravella High School, we have Adriana.
JP Taravella High School, round 2, spoken word. Adriana Cruz, a complaint to man. To the men that take the time out of their day to whistle at the schoolgirls walking home. To the men who are in the cars and shout, "Hey, yo, mom, let me get your number." To the ladies doing the daily runs. To the men that think that a woman likes it when you come up to them and slap their butt. I have one simple question. Is it so hard to keep it to yourself? It's true that we are taught to express ourselves from a young age. It's a natural rule that one was taught by the roles of our parents to stay true. But I'm pretty sure your mama didn't raise a sexual harasser. I'm pretty sure you were taught to not judge a book by its cover. I'm pretty sure that your morals were straight and they're in alignment. So why do you always say she was asking for it because of what she's wearing, or she shouldn't wear that much makeup around me? It really strikes a nerve seeing a girl get cussed out because she rejected a guy, or when she gets dragged, or when she gets thrashed, or when she even gets murdered. You're not a necessity, you're an accessory. Might as well be true, right? I might get hate for saying it, but the way that women get treated, no wonder it was even created. Why do you act this way? Why do you change your persona? Why do you abuse your right of mind? Do you think it's fair for young girls to get stopped by a car full of guys and receive sexual comments from them? What would you do if you was your mother, your wife, or even your daughter? Because I'm pretty sure if you saw that happen, you would not let it stand. So why would you do it yourself? As a woman, it's not my fault you can't handle yourself around me. As a woman, it's not my fault you can't control yourself. As a woman, it's not my fault you can't accept rejection. As a woman, it's not my fault you can't keep it in your pants. As a man, you should follow your ancestors and take responsibility. Yes, back then, men were held to the utmost superiority. But guess what? The times have changed, so you need to change yourself. Somewhere in your mind, you think this is right. The consequences don't apply to you. Sorry for you, but we are in the 21st century. Us women are capable to standing up for ourselves, protecting ourselves from you, the one who claims that who will protect us from everything since we are so weak. Newsflash, it's not gonna happen. So instead of getting pissed off about it, let me make it clear for you, dear men, just because a woman rejects you, no need for the anger, because at the end of the day, you will see who truly gets hurt.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, that was Adriana. Okay, from JP Taravella High School. All right, poet. And from my judges, we have our scores. From a low to a high, we have a 6.8, a 7.5, a 7.6, an 8, and an 8. Again, we have a 6.8, a 7.5, a 7.6, an 8, and an 8. Thank you so much, poet. All right. Next up to the stage, ending off round one from Pompano Beach High School. Make some noise, give it up, snap, clap, and applause for Jacqueline.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary, for you've been giving a special invitation, a crash course to becoming a programmer. Congratulations! Now grab your computers and knives and spoons, and let's begin. First, let's start off with a pinch of interest, mixed with a cup of outside motivation. Grab your computer, and let's start off with a tablespoon of Python. I hope it's to your liking. Add a cup of print. Hello, how are you? I'm sure you answered with, good and you. Put it in the oven for 35 minutes, and voila, a cake. And, well, let's make a Java strudel. Believe me, it's gonna be brutal. Let's start off with one program to mix it in, 50,000 different topics to choose from. Now let that sit for 7 days and ponder what you're even doing. Splash a hint of a plan that's halfway completed. Now just pour 5 cups of your heart out with 10 trips to the internet. Peel one obnoxious debugging console that spews 3,000 annoying error messages. Chop that up and fix one error to get a total of 3,021 annoying error messages. 3 internal bouts of screaming, 50 trips to the internet, and let that marinate for 5 minutes as you remind yourself that it is a computer and you cannot get angry at it. 4 mental breakdowns, 3 cups of rethinking your career path, another trip to the internet, and after breaking for an hour, you finally realize that you forgot to end the line with a semicolon. And there you have it, folks. You became that whiz genius coder everyone sees in the movies, except you don't type that fast. And you look things up frequently. So thank you, folks, for joining us, and I hope you take something away. Thus, I bid you farewell. Have a nice day.
All right, poet. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you so much for those kind words. Jacqueline. Awesome, awesome. From Pompano Beach High School. Okay, DJ Priest. Setting the vibes. All right, from a low to a high, we have a 7.5, a 7.8, an 8, 8.1, and an 8.2. Again, we have a 7.5, a 7.8, an 8, an 8.1, and an 8.2. All right, awesome poet. That concludes round one of bout number 12. Hope you guys are sticking with us. Awesome, awesome. Got to give a big shout out to our sponsors and our partners in UPS and UKG. We could not have been here or done this without you all. And thank you to all of our other lovely partners and sponsors. We do appreciate all of you all for being here, being in this YouTube live. Some of you all may be judging. So we just thank you and appreciate each and every single one of you. With that being said, kicking off round two from A.W. Dreyfus School of the Arts, we have Kaya.
Wait, hold on, Sean, before you press play, please. Give me 1 second. Okay, you can go ahead, Sean.
Hi, my name is Kaya Andrick and I'm a junior at Dreyfus School of the Arts. Florida man forces alligator to drink beer. Florida man on drugs kills imaginary friend and turns himself in. Did Florida man really build a guitar out of his uncle's bones? Do we really want to know? Florida man is a myth until he isn't. You'll hear Florida man throws live alligator through Wendy's drive-through window and thank God you don't know any. Sometimes there's so many Florida men you forget which is which. Some Florida men break into Burger King to drink gallons of frying oil. And the rest our state loves because they hate the state. Florida man is anarchist with a truck. Florida man is activist and party planner. Occasionally goes by the nickname Don. Invites all the Florida men to the Capitol because it will be wild. Florida men hate the Capitol building, love the Senate podium in their hands, love building walls to keep their Florida Man Club exclusive. Florida man mocks political opponent with monkey sounds on campaign trail because Florida man's opponent was black. Also goes by the name governor when he makes it hard for majority black communities to get the vaccine. Runs campaign ads teaching his kids to build walls. Florida man learns with styrofoam but grows up to work with cinder blocks. Florida man hates the government. No, Florida man is the government. Depends on which way you remember it. Florida man hates hot sand. Hates the beach. Florida man hates the mask. Florida man mocks COVID-19 till he gets it too. Don't you know Florida man can never really be wrong? Florida man arrested after coughing on deputies and threatening to kill his own mom. Florida man hears this poem and then gets mad. Who am I kidding? Florida man never listens to poetry, never listens to anyone but the names on his flags that hang off his truck. Once, I knew a good Florida man. My best friend's JR's father went to buy Thanksgiving turkeys and two armed guys cocked their guns to JR's 2-year-old sister's head till they took the cash and turkeys, then ran. JR's dad memorized the license plates because the Florida men in government wouldn't. Stopped them at a red light 2 months later. He said, there are some things you can never forget, especially license plates you've been chanting in your sleep. But isn't it so much like the Florida men who cursed the state to arrest criminals when the system wouldn't? Sometimes Florida man is brave, sometimes plays Uno in traffic, threatens to find McDonald's sauce by any means necessary. But I don't think all Florida men are evil, at least not inherently. I think they just want to be loved by someone other than a gator. Florida man will ask you, please love me, and beg for it, and set his cot at the hospital on fire so the nurse will pay attention to him, or suck a sleeping man's toes after breaking in. All I want for you to do is love me, he will say, unevilly. And I'm sure of this when on Valentine's Day, a Florida man proposes to his girlfriend using the ring he stole from his other lover and disappears into myth.
All right, poet. All right. That was Kaya from A.W. Dreyfus School of the Arts. All right, and from a low to a high, my judges, we have an 8.5, a 9, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Again, we have an 8.5, a 9, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Awesome job. Great job, poet. Awesome job. Keeping it going. Next up from JP Taravella High School, we have DeMarcus.
JP Taravella High School, round 1, poem type morality, DeMarcus Williams, held accountable. The things I do, the moves I make, do they actually have a purpose? Are they really affecting the people I care deepest about? The ones who I will lay my life down for without hesitation? The fact that I asked the question proves I've seen the answer. The world is bad and it only gets worse. One can either bite the sour lemon and prepare for the next, or throw it away, never knowing of how it tasted. But if lies don't heal what the truth can hurt, what is one to do? They said secrets are killer. Then they said privacy is protection. Silence must be deadly if this is the logic that is used by the ones of wisdom. What made them so wise anyway? Experience or knowledge? Both sound trustworthy to ears that don't listen. And being that there's no way to justify which is generally more correct than the other, maybe people should search for answers under a higher power. You know, the one you only talk to for forgiveness instead of motivation, for answers instead of ideas. The one who you expect to understand how you feel because you're too selfish to try and observe from a different perspective. Understanding can't change the situation that's already happened. So I would apologize and correct the mistakes you made. All it does is alter others' perspectives of you, which is fine. Nobody's perfect, but nobody's actually equal either. Because if everybody was equal, there'd be no need for labels. But who am I to put my reputation on the line by speaking what I believe is subjectively moral? Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, right? I guess it's just another reason of inequality between minds. Or perhaps my brain's too stupid to answer these questions, which is why I have such a strong feeling of frustration toward what we deem a culture. Do you feel that way? Then let me ask you a question. What is happiness? I can bet whatever your answer was involved one of these 3 things: pleasure, passion, and for the higher thinkers, purpose. Regardless of the answer though, they all require freedom of choice. And some of those choices of happiness you do go against what you know as virtuous. So maybe think about that the next time you count your blessings.
All right. Thank you so much, DeMarcus from JP Taravella High School. All right, y'all. My judges. You guys have been doing an amazing job. Let's see what some of the YouTube Live has been saying. YouTube Live. All right. Happiness, pleasure, passion, purpose. Great. All right. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, right? Awesome. Again, so much great reactions from the YouTube Live. Let's check out these scores. My judges, from a low to a high, we have a 7, a 7.2, a 7.3, a 7.8, and an 8.8. Once again, we have a 7, 7.2, a 7.3, a 7.8, and an 8.8. All right. Next up to the stage, From Pompano Beach High School, we have Connor.
Hi, I'm Connor Measle, and I'm representing Pompano Beach High School. A sea of boxes overflowing out the door. One box still needs to be shut. I see my old family lore. An old picture of me on a rocking horse when life was simple and had a set course. The picture is dusty and starting to fade. My memory of that time has already begun to cascade. My smile was full and my mind was clean. Now my smile is gone and my face is full of steam. The pile at the curb is high with things of the past, but not things I thought wouldn't last. Like the old table we always ate Thanksgiving dinner at, now it's being gnawed at by some local rat. With the house empty, my voice echoes. Everything I love has been packaged away, but still I can't let go. It's just a house, those come and go, but if I will connect with my new spaces, I do not know. The walls are bare, the air is stale, and silent with lost laughter, for when my parents said they live happily ever after.
All right, applaud the poet, Connor. Thank you, Connor, from Pompano Beach High School. All right, and from a low to a high, we have an 8, an 8.4, an 8.6, a 9, and a 9.1. Again, we have an 8, an 8.4, an 8.6, a 9, and a 9.1. All right. Next up to the stage, from Plantation High School, we have Judaline.
Brothers and sisters, let me enlighten you with some wisdom, with some strength. Life is more than what meets the eye. I look around and see people on the streets wondering how they'll get by. We all need to understand the world we live in. We need to do better, know better, be better. Our society is torn apart between races and faces, one having more authority than the other. Not being kind to one another, it's like the world is still blind. Life is tough, I know, but don't go low. Let your inner self show, be who you want to be. I cry every day thinking about what I could do for others, what to say, when to pray for a better world. A way that we can all live in peace before this world ceases to exist. We all need to release, decrease the discrimination, come together to create an innovation, a better world, a better life, where we can all stand and say, brothers and sisters, we will fight together, side by side, till we decay and blow away into the clouds. Life would be a pure ecstasy.
All right, poet. Awesome job. Give it up for the poet. Judaline from Plantation High School. All right. From a low to a high, we have a 7.9, an 8.3, a 9, a 9.5, and a 10. Once again, we have a 7.9, an 8.3, a 9, a 9.5, and a 10. All right, my judges, that was awesome. Great job. Next up, we have an indie poet for round 2 to cap off round 2, an indie poet competing for the indie finals. From Whitten Rogers, we have Iron.
A poem for myself. Most of all, I hope you heal from all the pain, the disappointments, the losses, the heartbreaks. I hope you learn to love again. I hope you feel like the sunshine on your skin. And remember that you are like the sun. No one can take that away from you. Do not lose your temper. You're precious. Self love, no messes. The world is too cruel already. We need love like yours around. I'm Iron Burgess. My name means peace. Irony. I'm very sarcastic. Reconciliation. There are no wars. Equanimity. Don't tolerate no violence. Nirvana. This feels like joy. Black can also mean calmness. It's a good color as well. Unwilling times, but forget that never give up. Gift come from a friend or loved one. Ease when you're resting. You can finally get some peace. Serenity, comfort. As love as many people as you can and enjoy it. Security. You can't feel peace when you're trapped or being overprotective.
All right, my judges, my YouTube livers. That was Iron. All right, y'all, that was Iron. Give it up for the poet. Iron from Winning Rogers. Awesome. Competing for the Indian finals. Competing to get to the Indian finals. We have from a low to a high, a 6.2, a 7, a 7, a 7, and a 7.2. Again, we have a 6.2, a 7, a 7, a 7, and a 7.2. All right, poet. That was Iron from Winning Rogers. What an amazing job, man. Good job. Appreciate you guys. That being said, that caps off round 2. Okay. How we feeling? Judges, how we feeling? Thumbs up, we feeling good? Awesome. I'm going to transition into handing the mic over to my awesome bout manager, the South Florida very own Mr. Tiffany.
He always makes it a big deal. Thank you, John, for holding it down for the first 2 rounds. We're going to roll right into round 3 with a poet coming from JP Taravella High School. Please send your reactions, your emojis, your snaps for D'Angelo.
You say don't wear a hood because I look suspicious. But I see my light-skinned brother wearing a hood. What's the difference? You see graffiti as destruction of public property. I say more power to the people if you could use it properly. You say I can't wear a durag outside because it looks too ghetto. Well, I'm sorry I can't make waves by just slicking my hair with gel. Oh, it's my fault, right? I should apologize. It's my mistake for being born black. You say no ripped jeans, no socks and slides. No piercings, no tattoos. Why can't I be me? Is it because of my skin? Are you afraid of me and my kin? It's a shame that in this day and age, I, a 17-year-old black kid in America with nothing to gain but everything to lose, can't live his life the way he wants to. So I pick and choose. I fight the best fights. Try to change people's views. But I'm tired. I'm distressed. Depressed because none of these people understand. And no matter how dressed I press, I still gotta grind for that penthouse on the 20th floor. You ever wonder what I see? You ever wonder what it's like for me? My dog pledge allegiance to y'all stars and stripes. But I know it don't matter unless I'm dressed in orange or black and white stripes. Stuck on this auto walk like Lauderdale Airport, but there's no off switch. Obsessed with trying to change the system of discrimination. I'm just trying to be myself. My hood protects me from the hateful stares, so I can laugh in secret about the old white men upstairs. Cause that bald spot looking bigger than yesterday, Jim. I wear ripped jeans to show off my melanin. You might not like my style. Only color you like on me is my smile. I don't care. Try me if you dare. Couldn't stop Kunta Kinte, how you gonna stop me?
Judges, what say you? Word to Gabby. Gabby would say, judges, what say you? Missing one score. All right, scores. Low to high, we have an 8, an 8.5, a 9.3, a 9.5, and a 10. Thank you again for sharing your poem with us, D'Angelo. Next up, for round 3, coming from Pompano Beach High School, we have Haley.
What happens when I let go? What if you're the best I'll ever get? What if I can't find anyone as good? What if I lost everything I could ever want? What if I let go? Don't get me wrong, I can get over you. It may take some time, but I can let go. But where will I fall and who will catch me? What if I don't like this new catcher? What if I liked it better when you caught me? I hope you're not getting cocky because you can't catch that well. You close your eyes, stick out your hands wherever they may be, but you were perfect for me. And I don't know if anyone else will be like you. I want you to know that I'm not afraid of letting go. I'm afraid of whose arms I will fall into if they're not yours. I wrote this over a year ago, and all I have to say is that time creates change. Change, she's scary. She doesn't present herself correctly. She makes you think the worst, but she's no curse. Although at first, her tornadoing destruction creates an eruption we don't think we could pass, but in the end, it makes sense to why she changed the season, because we realize everything happens for a reason. For now, I am no longer afraid of falling because change, she knows what she's doing. I am where I'm supposed to be. Not only have I found someone new, but I have learned to fly. For I have caught in myself, I have defied the laws of gravity. I can now walk along the treetops and carve animals in the clouds. I now know the wonders of the sky and move from town to town, for I have learned to fly. I found a boy who doesn't keep me trapped in his hands or hide me in the pocket of his pants. Instead, he lets me grow. He lets me be the best I can be instead of attending to his every need. I used to rely on Peter Pan, hold his hand to keep myself afloat, caption hook in his boat, just waiting for me to drop. But I changed the story. I don't need your pixie dust, because change has thrown me into an ultimate dimension of self-reflection. The silence of the boys has allowed me to find my voice. I wear sparkles on my cheeks, not to hear men whispers on the streets, but so little girls tell their mothers, I want to be just like her. Like a game of baseball ready at the plate, the pitcher threw me into outer space. Now I float in the stars. Change has brought me so far. Dependency, my new enemy. Thank you.
Show some love to Haley from Pompano Beach High School. I hope you all are going ham in the YouTube comment section. Judges, those scores came fast. From low to high, we have an 8.5, a 9.6, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Thank you, Haley, for sending in your poem. Next up in round 3, we have Brianna from Plantation High School. Show some love, show some love, show some love.
My poem is called Being Black and Brianna Darius. 5th period. Being black is not just a trend that powers the same thing we're discriminated for. Being black is not about the hair, the slang, the dance, but about the history of lies in our roots, to the curls in our hair, to the color in our skin. Being black will never be just a trend. My people did not get beat from black to blue to be known as entertainment to others. We did not fight for freedom to be known as a joke to society. We fought for what we believed in, and we loved those who hated us. Like King once said, free at last, free at last. Thank you, God Almighty, we are free at last.
Judges, Waiting on your scores. For Brianna from Plantation High School. From low to high, we have a 7, a 7, a 7.4, a 7.5, and a 7.9. Audience, let us know how you're feeling about the scores on YouTube Live. Next up from A.W. Dreyfus, we have a quad performance from Janelle, Kaja, Isabella, and Emma. Show some love, show some love.
We're representing Dreyfus School of the Arts.
Britney Spears was on the White House payroll.
Because every time George Bush messed up,
Our girl Britney dropped another scandal.
In tomorrow's midterm elections, Republicans may lose majority control.
Britney's whirlwind marriage ends in tragic divorce.
President Bush's approval rating reaches an all-time low.
Britney's public meltdown caught on camera.
The Middle East sees a surge in terrorism.
Britney's war on paparazzi is out of control.
See? Tried telling the good American people that Britney Spears isn't working for the feds.
Or that Taylor Swift isn't the clone of a former satanic priestess.
Call that bad blood.
That Avril Lavigne hasn't been replaced by a body double.
Because she really couldn't handle the fame. Or that Beyonce isn't an Illuminati witch.
The good American people know that Lorde is actually in her 50s.
Because a teen girl could have never written Royals.
But we all know Tupac is still alive.
Keanu Reeves is immortal.
Elvis Presley faked his death and retired to Argentina.
Because only men get to live forever.
John Mulaney gets to be an upstanding, recovering addict.
But Demi Lovato gets trampled by the press from her hospital bed.
Paparazzi villainize women so they can make money off of our trauma.
Because every time Free Britney trends, another docuseries drops.
And then we watch them anyways. Turn Princess Diana's eating disorder into daytime television.
We are obsessed with rewatching Britney shave her head, labeled a fashion crime next to her denim on denim fit.
And ignore the part about it being a manic episode. But isn't this what it means to be a woman?
To be eaten alive by the red carpet cameras,
but pose for them anyways.
We let tabloids turn women into myth.
Read up on gossip columns till it's us on page 6.
And when Miss Teen American Dream turns Miss American Tragedy, we pretend to be surprised.
Pretend we weren't the ones framing Britney as a monster.
Labeled her unfit as a mother.
We took custody of her kids for driving with her son in her lap.
Even though there was no time for a car seat before the paparazzi got there.
We pretend we're not the reason she can't walk around the block.
Can't buy a 99-cent pack of gum.
Can't post on Instagram without her father over her shoulder.
The same father her kids have a restraining order against.
Because men are never just the villain.
Always get to go home heroes.
Get to control their daughters
and daughters never get a redemption arc.
We wanted Britney to perform so badly, we made her whole life an act.
Only gave her one storyline.
Because everyone knows a blonde sells better when she's breaking down.
And she never would have made it out anyways.
Thank you, poets. Thank you, poets. Thank you, poets. Judges, what do you say? What do you say? Waiting on one score. Boom. So the scores read from low to high. We have an 8.9, a 9, a 9, a 9.5, and a 9.9. Thank you, judges. Next up from Atlantic Technical High School, we have Chrissy B. Please make sure y'all are showing love for every poet on YouTube Live.
Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and this poem is called The OG. The original, the OG, you know me. We are now free to be who we've been called to be. And I'll dance from the top of my crown to the sole of my feet, for the world is my stage, you all will see me. The builders of your country, the designers of your plantations, the building blocks of your trends. You range from Zimbabwe to Haiti, from Guava Guava to Compa, from Compa to Soca and Reggae. Like whiteout on a canvas, my past brothers and sisters were stripped of their language but not their sound, of their range of motion but not their dance. Even in shackles, they sang the songs that would one day mentally set them free. Like whiteout on the canvas, my past brothers and sisters erased the struggles of the future black baby boy and girl who would one day erase it all over again. I was told growing up that the truth would set me free, but first it'll piss me off. So I'm here to speak on behalf of all my fellow whiteouts when I say we will erase the hatred on the canvas and paint over with our love in the blood of my ancestors as our paintbrush. We'll erase your prejudice and paint over with our understanding with the black hymn sung on a Sunday when the lady in the back says, "Take your time, Pastor," as our paintbrush. But we didn't rush, we waited and stood still in the storm and slept in the boat with Jesus at the right hand, while the screams of slurs are thrown at us like waves. I pray for the future black baby boy and girl who gets hit with their first wave. I hope they realize that they are also a part of this evolution and that they are the resolution. Their love is the resolution to the revolution we have been leading for over 400 years. I say to you now, you beautiful black baby boy and girl, you can't stop just yet, because we are the original, the OG. You know me. We are now free to be who we have been called to be. I now dance from the top of my crown to the sole of my feet, for the world is my stage, you all will see me. The builders of your country, the designers of your plantations, the building blocks of your trends. You range from Zimbabwe to Haiti, from Guava Guava to Compa, from Compa to Soca and Reggae. Thank you.
Thank you to the poet for sharing her truth. Okay, judges. Okay, we have scores. From low to high, we have a 9, a 9, a 9.1, a 9.4, and a 9.8. That wraps up round 3. Before we move on to round 4, I want to acknowledge those showing love in the YouTube chat. Oh, did I just see my name? Hey, they put my name with hearts. They said, "Go poet." They're sending a lot of snaps. They're quoting the poets. One audience member wants us to know that Keanu Reeves is in fact immortal. And so we do definitely need to put that out there. And they're sending a lot of snaps. They said, "Powerful, speak." So they are watching, you all poets. If you're watching as well, the people are watching and listening. We are going to roll into round 4 with Pompano Beach High School sending up their poet, Olivia.
Hi, my name is Olivia from Pompano Beach Pampa Poets, and this is my poem. You know, I never really wanted a son or a daughter, but the more time I dwell on it, the more time my mind begins to wander. And after all the hours I spend thinking about whoever you might be, about wherever your life may eventually lead, I formatted a method for how I'd raise you, if I ever had the chance. So, you see, I would lead you into Willow Tree Forest and teach you how to weave realities from wonder, how to pluck fairy tales from the pages of pop-up books, how to squander your days wild, brave, and carefree. I'd spill the whole deal about how you can be anything you want to be, but the biggest thing I'd stress, kid, is how love is all you need. I'd crouch down and press the seeds of oak trees into your palms and whisper, even the tiniest of beings just need sun and rain to grow big and strong. And if you are at all anything like me, one day you will realize there is so much imperfect in our society. But just as I taught myself, I would teach you to be calm. I would promise you, you don't have enough time to be angry. There is never enough time to be angry, so baby, don't be. Ignore the tick of the clock like I told you, but never forget that you don't have forever. And I will stay a firm believer that not all change begins with alarm bells blaring. Not all wake-up calls need to be harsh discourse, nails on chalkboard, bonfire that may burn bright, but burn just as fast. I will tell you the biggest changes start with whispers and laughs. They start with love because love never burns quick, it lasts. And I would love you the way the moon loves the tide. No, never overbearing. I would be your guide, and I would know when to let you go. But the moment it gets dark, I will illuminate the entire night sky, and at night, I will lay down beside you and whisper stories of how the universe stretches so wide and far, of how our sun is a star, and there are trillions of stars, so if one sun could pull so much life from the earth, imagine how much more life exists out there beyond ours. And I will bring you to the animals to demonstrate gentle. We will inch up close to bird nests, safe and high in their treetop lofts. And like the sincerest hymn I know I will say, all life is sacred. Things that crawl and things that fly, they're all worthy of living just like you and I. You know, I don't really remember when, but at some point I changed this poem from future to present tense, so I guess that means this poem has become less of a Plan C brochure, less of a what if, more of an I'm waiting for you. And I can't wait to show you how purely wonderful it is to exist.
Shout out to the poet Olivia from Pompano Beach High School. It is statistically proven that people are more afraid of public speaking than dying. And although we're not in person, I think it's absolutely commendable that these poets have sent in their poems and shared these truths and kind of laid their stories out in front of these judges. So again, shout out to all the poets that have come before, and then shout out to Olivia from Pompano Beach High School. Judges, scores from low to high are as follows: 8.7, 9, 9.5, 9.8, and 10. Again, those scores are 8.7, 9, 9.5, 9.8, and 10. Our second poem for round 4 will be coming from Anicia at Plantation High School.
What is a home? For as I don't know. Homeless and lonesome, I have nowhere to go. All I think is how to survive. What will I do to get through the night? My vision is clear, I know what I'm doing, yet my feelings are strange. It feels so confusing. Strange? Well, yes, I know what I'm doing, but the words I speak, the actions aren't doing. What is a home? I still don't know. I still have the time to grow from below. The night has passed, I made up my mind. I want to fight because suddenly it's just not right. This time, my actions will speak. I have a dream and my dreams will set me free. Working hard is what I have to do, even though the no support makes me blue. What is a home? I will know one day. I will lose all my sleep just to see my dreams display. And yes, I am okay. A home is a home, it doesn't matter where you stay.
Thank you, poet, for sharing your poem. Again, that is Inicia from Plantation. Judges, talk to me. Scores, low to high. We have a 7.8, an 8, another 8, 8.3, and an 8.9. Next up from A.W. Dreyfus, we have Isabella.
The following poem contains descriptions of sexual assault and violence. Viewer discretion is advised. My name is Isabella Ramirez, and I am from Dreyfus School of the Arts. So I'm at the roller rink. It's 2017, and Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas beats beneath polyurethane wheels as my 4- and 7-year-old cousins get their skates laced up by my aunt, who brags about her past as a derby girl and how she'll skate laps around us, literally. We've left our brothers and fathers at home because it is girls only up in here, and this is our ladies' night. I don't know how to skate very well, but I reserve my aunt's handholding for my cousins and stay alone near the rink's ledge until a 15-year-old boy mistakes me for the wall when he comes up behind me and grabs me by the breasts. He doesn't let go until I'm falling to the ground from trying to break his grip. By the time I realize what's happened, my aunt's arguing with a police officer while I'm holding my cousin shaking. I'm only 13 years old, and all I can think, even in this moment when I want to boil my body to relieve the phantom feeling of his hands on my chest, is how grateful I am that it was me. That it wasn't them. That my cousins get to live another day as children. They're 4 and 7 years old, and I feel guilty I've made them leave. That night, my youngest cousin learned what sexual assault meant before she learned how to read. The thing about being a woman surrounded by rape culture is that it's not a matter of if, but when. I'm 17 years old now, and I've been catcalled, followed, honked at, touched, violated. The men in my family love to say not all men, but why is it all women then? Why do we insist on sending our daughters to college with pepper spray and a rape whistle? Why do we pass around sexual assault like a family heirloom? From our grandmothers, to our mothers, to our aunts, to our sisters, to me, please do not make me pass this to my cousins, but it's too late. My aunt sends me screenshots of messages from a boy in my cousin's 3rd grade class calling her baby, saying I love you, asking if he can smell her underwear. When can we stop teaching our 8-year-old girls to cope with the fact that men will talk to them this way for the rest of their lives? That day, I resented the fact that my cousin had ever learned to read, and the fact that there are girls who will never learn. The baby girls who babble through teething and swollen gums and have death become their nursery rhyme. Like 10-month-old Zara Scruggs, who could barely mouth the word dad before she was fatally raped by her father, who had just learned to walk and was everything a baby girl should be. Happy and curious and beautiful and innocent. Baby girls shouldn't die on hospital beds in blood-soaked diapers, yet Zara did. And somehow I still don't know if she would have been better off if she had survived. I don't need to be at a roller rink to know being a woman means I am constantly skating around the perversions of men. My cousins now know this too. One of them is less than 2 years from being 13, and I can only hope she'll never feel what it's like to be too young to fight back, but be told a 15-year-old boy's too young to be charged. I can only long for the day girls don't need to be stripped of their childhoods to become women, because that day I'll take my cousins roller skating again.
Wow. Thank you, poet, for sharing your story and your truth. Thank you, judges, for being in this space with us and allowing them to do so. What do you say, though, judges? What do you say? The scores from low to high are as follows: 9.5, 9.8, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Again, that was Isabella from A.W. Dreyfus. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Next up for round 4 from J.P. Taravella High School, we have Cynthia.
Beating as fast as a hummingbird's wings, thumping against my ribs, beating like a storm in my chest, in rhythm with my feet, beating louder than my voice as I screamed for help, beating so heavily, bringing fear that it would tear out of my chest. Pounding in sync of my worst fear, racing like a train, blunt force trauma to the head as my body collides with the cold stone. Pounding heavier as the feeling of the unknown begins to etch itself into the pit of my stomach. My color being randomly beaten. Having no idea who's next, the fear of wanting to stop it all, but getting killed in the process. This is my America. My thoughts, my fears, my worries. Misplaced hate, leading to disgrace on races, causing constant fear for blacks in different places. You say the land of the great, while I say the land of the white. This is a white man's world, and we are just the toys. From being followed around stores, who knows what tomorrow brings? This world filled with the blind, where brown gets you killed and being white lets you kill. As youngins, learning not to give them anything to act on, becoming nervous as they approach, showing them our hands, pleading for our lives. This is my America, protected by their badge, protected by the white man. This is my America. It's all a trap. Brought us here against our will, and now they force us to lie still, 6 feet under. This is a white man's world, and we are just the pawns. We struggle in this white man's world. Isn't it lovely? One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What does it truly mean? We are forced to stand up and pledge allegiance to this flag and to this country that don't pledge allegiance towards the black nation. It rather point privilege to the white man. Years of blood spill, years of torment, years of fighting for that justice that they claim is here for all. Where's the justice for Eric Garner? Where's the justice for Oscar Grant? Where's the justice for Xavier Hill? It's all a lie, and it's all a trap. And we are just living in this white man's world, in this white man's America.
Thank you, poet, for sharing your truth. Judges, what say you? Scores. Low to high are as follows: 8.5, 9, 9, 9.7, and a 9.8, and that wraps round 4 for us. We are getting ready to go into round 5. From A.W. Dreyfus kicking off this round, we have Emma.
My name is Emma Garrett, representing Dreyfus School of the Arts. At 6 years old, I wake up every hour on the hour. I have to catch my dream before it flies away from me. I know it better than the ABCs. My dream is a self-portrait. Who I could be. Stick figure girl, waist 2 centimeters wide, 2 perfect circles, you can guess where, hair made of 2 long curling strings, yellow like sponge cake. I wake up the next morning with ink on my face, this dream body drawing pasted on me like a price tag. At 6, this dream is what I'm worth. The woman I'll grow into, who doesn't have any organs. You blink and she disappears, and I may not look like my dream girl, but I have mastered her vanishing act, swapping bread for breathing, stealing steps on my mom's scale because the doctor said I couldn't have my own, protein yogurt because I love the taste of chalk, or else I'd rather not eat at all. Dream girl's jeans read like a bottle of cough syrup. No more than 2 doses at once, unless you want to sleep forever. Made of sugar, red dye, and camphor. Boiling point 400 degrees. Dream girl scalds herself in the shower. She has red knees and a heart murmur. Put your ear to her chest, you'll hear it whisper, am I good enough yet? Dream girl's manic. Like a birthday candle, spitfire smothered under 2 calloused fingers. Manic, like she dances to music. The first to shotgun a beer, crazy enough to make your snap story entertaining. Dream girl's eyeliner smudged with tears. She's still saving. She's the paradox of imperfectly perfect. Just touchable enough that no one notices. She only eats in public. She's so chill, so fun, party of one. Just wake yourself up if she gets too pale. Hair goes flatter, you find out she bites her nails. She will never be good enough. As long as good enough looks like dying, slowly and prettily swapping out pieces of myself for inky lines until I'm more 2D than collage. Dream girl is just a drawing, an impossibility, like a teen girl who loves herself the way I'm trying to. I don't see her in my sleep anymore, but I have that picture, made by a girl with hands too small to catch the world thrown at her. I'm grown now and I don't remember dream girl looking this tired. Tonight, I want you to think of my voice, a little too loud and nervous, my smile, how it tweaks down on one end, how neither of those lines just rhymed. I ask that you remember me by my bitten cuticles, my imperfection without redemption. It's time our dream girls get the sleep they deserve.
Shout out to Emma. That is Emma from A.W. Dreyfus, sharing her truth. Judges, what are the scores? The judges are on it. If you're listening via YouTube Live and you have any questions about the judges, these scores fly in. The judges are tuned in and paying attention. Scores are from low to high. We have a 9, a 9.8, a 9.9, a 10, and a 10. Again, that was Emma from A.W. Dreyfus. The second and last poem actually for our round 5 is a duo from Pompano Beach High School. This duo consists of Olivia and Sanam. Please show love for these poets.
Earth, my dear, can we talk this out? It's just that you've been acting strange, getting all fired up when anyone mentions my name. And yesterday you told me you came down with climate change? I'm just saying, let's not jump to conclusions. I don't want to sound harsh, but this isn't the first time you've had this delusion. I mean, recently you called me a parasite. You were only joking, right? See, babe, I don't think you realize how much I need you. Nearly everything I do runs on fossil fuels. And listen, when I first laid eyes on you, I pictured a perfect world formed from green and blue, crafted by the hand of man, built for me, for us to use. And sure, I've screwed up 1 or 2 times, maybe a few, but why would you want to leave me? What have you got to lose?
Man, some days I wear you like a noose. Some days I can't breathe. Some days I wake up soaked in smog so heavy I have to claw apart the clouds to see. Lately, I've been questioning why I let you move in so soon, but now that I think it through, I can't remember giving you permission before you grabbed your bags and barged in. This isn't how it's always been. Before we met, I remember having a planet so clean, every corner was pristine, an overgrown garden padded with tree roots and shaded with leaves until you looked at me with hungry eyes and told me I was everything you need? Please, just get out, leave. You ruined my home, you ruined me.
In all honesty, I think you're overreacting. You see, it doesn't hurt if I pluck a few fish from the sea. And hey, with forests that big, there's no harm in losing a few trees.
Are you kidding me?
Whoa, calm down. Stop acting psycho and just hear me out. My dear, I never want to do you wrong. I want to sing like a song. I want to own you, hold you in my palms. You are the definition of beauty and fear, the bringer of life and death, even though lately I've been doing more of the killing around here, but we can use cute pet names. You can call me Parasite, your substitute Grim Reaper, your eventual demise, and I will call you my butterfly, my open sky, my infinite coal mine, my plague-ridden planet, and I can be your virus. An entire planet has enough beauty to go around. Don't worry if I take up a little too much ground.
Can't you see? I'm more than a planet. I'm a home. I'm a mother. I'm a canvas. Plucking some fish left trails of bone. Taking some trees left me diseased. Your song is my death note. Your love has become greed. I cannot let this go on. You're toxic and I'm intoxicated. A love story never meant to be. I'm tired of waiting for change and choking on plastic. So go on, find a new home. See how long you can last in it.
Awesome. Thank you again. Those poets are from Pompano Beach High School, Olivia and Sanam. Judges, what we saying? Okay, scores. Low to high, we have a 9.5, a 9.8, a 10, a 10, and a 10. Thank you, judges. That poem wraps up our bout in regards to who we're going to see perform today. However, my team does need to tabulate the scores, so we're going to give them some time and then we'll announce the winners. In the meantime, I did want to go through and shout out UKG and UPS for their support of LTAB Florida, along with all of our other amazing partners in this journey. DJ Preach, who has kept the tunes rolling all night. The amazing host you all had before me, Just John, who's actually been holding it down. throughout this festival. Thank you again, coaches, parents, administrators, and supporters. All of you who are in the comment section on YouTube Live right now. This can't happen without you. We need the poets, the audience, and everyone else involved. Thank you. I did want to let you all know, if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying it, if you love to hear the poems and love to be supportive, Saturday, April 10th, the top 16 participating schools advance to semifinals. You might want to be there. We have a few bouts, but it's going all day. So anytime that's convenient for you, please make sure you come and show support. Also, Indie Finals are on Friday, April 16th, and the main event, our team finals, is on Saturday, April 17th. Mark your calendars, tell your friends to tell their friends, and make sure that you all are showing love and support. I am going to wait on my team. We're going to enjoy the tunes. And hopefully the judges had a good time. Can I get a thumbs up if we had a good time? If we enjoyed the awesome. So I'm going to wait on those scores and get those to you as soon as possible. Yeah, DJ Preach, when you get a chance, I need this instrumental. Thank you. Okay, and the scores are as follows. The rankings are as follows. We got them. They are in. Cool. So again, shout out to all of the poets. Thank you so much for sending in your poems and sharing your stories with us. The point isn't the points, the point is the poetry. This just so happens to be a slam, but that doesn't validate or invalidate anything that you all have shared or sent in to us. So judges, are you ready for the results? Yeah, awesome. So in fourth place, we have Plantation High School. Can we show some love to Plantation High School? Awesome. In third place, we have JP Taravella High School. Let's also show love to JP Taravella. Please make sure y'all are showing love on the YouTube Live. In second place, we have Pompano Beach High School. We're going to show them some love. And of course, in number one, we have A.W. Dreyfus. This has been an amazing time. I have thoroughly enjoyed these bouts and all of the poems that were shared. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to the judges, the DJ, my assistant bout manager, Seth, my scorekeeper, Storm. This has been a good time. All right, y'all, enjoy your night. Thank you so much.
Judges, thank you so much.
Thank you, judges.
Piff and John, good job.
Yeah.